Hello, um, good evening, good afternoon, welcome to my live. Today is Friday, the 20th of February, and I'm only just started. I'm going to be here for a couple of hours from 6 to 8 every Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm a therapist and coach, and I come here on YouTube to give some suggestions, recommendations, and talk about anything to do with mental health, therapy, psychology, human behavior, and anything to do with the mind and how we can enhance our human experience and our quality of life from those places. And so, the way I always start my live streams is by reading and commenting on some of my own posts. And eventually, at some point, some of you will find the inspiration to ask me some questions about yourself, and I will do my best to give you some actionable advice. Okay. Um, I post 3 short videos every day, both on TikTok and YouTube. But I post also 1 long form video on YouTube every week. The one that I put out this week on Wednesday is about meditation, and it's called Meditation is Easy. So if you want to learn how to get started, or if you have struggled with meditation in the past, it is a very simple and an easy approach, which is what people don't realize we should have as far as meditation and mindfulness is concerned. A lot of people, let's get started with that actually. A lot of people try meditation because we are talking more and more about the benefit of meditation, how it rewires our brain, how it teaches us how to separate ourselves from our own thoughts and emotions, how to have a better stress regulator and coping mechanism to address stress and adversity in real life, and so many more possibilities. Meditation is no more or less than the gym of the mind. And so what it means is that we can train it in many different ways for many different purposes. However, the one most important aspect of meditation is that it has to be accessible. If it's too difficult, if it's too complicated, then people are not going to sustain that new habit. And this is why, for me, and the message that I have from that video is to really highlight how important it is for meditation to be simple, easy, and fun. If it's not simple and easy and fun, most people will give up after a while and we think that it's too hard. And to me, there is a type of meditation for everyone. It's just about finding out which one is easiest for us. Meditation is not, people look at it like some brands. Which brand is better? Which type of meditation is better? Should I do transcendental meditation or whatever other labels? And no, you don't choose meditation. You actually you choose a meditation, but you choose the one that you can do. That's it. If you can do something, if it's easy and simple and fun, then you are starting on something. It's like going to the gym. It's like anything else. We need to let go of the resistance, of the pressure, of the tension, of the I must, I have. It's got to be like that. You don't need discipline to do meditation. You don't need perseverance at all either. You just need to find some fun, some joy, some easiness in that thing so that you don't have to do anything. You are just driven and attracted because you want to, because it feels good, because it makes sense. And so, if you have interest in meditation, check out my video. Meditation is easy. And the title is called This Simple and Easy Meditation Technique Can Change Your Life. And it really can. And so, I see that there are already a couple of comments. We have GEP Nutrition UK said hi, hello, and Squirrel Sniper, greetings, hello. I hope that you don't shoot snipers, squirrels. It's funny because I was just thinking about squirrel literally just seconds before I started the live stream. I was thinking about how for some people, some words in English were harder than others, and squirrel is one of them. And I was just thinking, for whatever reason, how I spent a lot of time repeating that word in order to be able to pronounce it properly. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to read and comment on some of my own posts. And at some point, whenever you are ready, just ask me anything about yourself. And I'm more than happy to talk about anything you'd like me to talk about. We have something already from Squirrel Sniper. Synchronicity plays a bigger part that you know. I agree, I agree. No, I do know actually, and I do agree. Absolutely agree with you. It is synchronicity. I didn't want to go on that tangent, but I totally agree with you. I do believe that the reason why I was thinking about Squirrel was probably because you were going to come up here, and somehow I had a feeling of it before it happened. But I hope that you don't snipe squirrels, because I really do love them. Okay, let's get started. The first post that I'm going to read goes like that. A journey of self-awareness can be lonely because the more self-aware you are, the more you realize how self-unaware most people in the world are. And this is very true. At the start, when we start to realize and understand how our brain works, when we understand our past, when we understand why we are the way we are, and why everyone is the way they are, it's a bit lonely because we realize how not long ago we were like them. So we have to have compassion and empathy. We don't want to think that we are better than anyone. But we realize that we know now something that most of the people still don't know. And, and it can be quite disempowering. Now, the good news is that as we go further into the journey, we start to meet other people like us. So that's how we are able to then reconnect with a tribe, with people, humanity, and not feeling alone anymore. But the start of self-awareness is always, there's always a funny moment where we're like, gosh, I'm like an alien in that world of everyone else is programmed, conditioned, and they don't see, they don't realize that they are in the matrix, for instance. And so, yeah, there's that. Next post. The only reason you feel unworthy is because some people told you in the past that worthiness had to be earned or achieved, and you still believe that lie. And so this is a very important concept. We like to believe that we're not enough, we're not worthy. Because we have been, again, conditioned by society, by culture, by our teachers, by our parents, that we're not enough. And we had to display some behavior in order to receive unconditional love. But worthiness is something that we're all born with. We're all worthy. Worthy is not something that we gain, that we win by making our parents proud. Worthiness is just who we are. We exist, we are born, and we all are worthy of love and acceptance and support. Society teaches us otherwise, and this creates a lot of confusion. But if you can realize that we're all worthy by virtue of us just being born and here and alive, then that we shift a lot of things within our dynamics and the way society is structured. Okay, the last post that I put on yesterday is a very important one. It's something that I talk about and I love talking about, and that the Semmelweis reflex. And so the Semmelweis reflex is a subconscious bias that rejects automatically new evidence or knowledge because it contradicts established norms or belief, despite strong new evidence for it. And the example that I give is that a person's private parts determine the gender. So now by science, we know that it's not the case, but some people will be unable to accept that truth because it goes against their own belief, and they have been taught otherwise at the start of their life. And this is the Semmelweis reflex. And I can tell you more about this guy because it's a very, very interesting story. Semmelweis reflex. So I go on Wikipedia. So the term derives from someone called Ignaz Semmelweis, a Hungarian physician who discovered in 1847 that childbed fever mortality rate fell tenfold when doctors disinfected their hands with a chlorine solution before moving from one patient to another. So basically, wash your hand and use some product to make sure that they are clean when you do operations. But back then, people didn't know that. And the interesting thing is that back then, everyone thought that he was crazy. Everyone thought about against him. All his peers, all the specialists, all the doctors, the scientists, everyone were basically telling him that he was wrong. And sadly, he suffered from a nervous breakdown, and he was committed to an asylum because people believed that he was so wrong, even though he was right all along. And as we found out afterward, when Louis Pasteur confirmed the germ theory, um, then people realized that he was right. And this is the Semmelweis reflex. When we have been taught something, and now we are finding out that there are new evidence that contradict that first belief, but because we have some emotional association with that thing, we're unable to embrace that new information, to open our mind, and to realize that things have changed. And we all have things like that. A lot of things we've been taught when we were younger by people, by television, by society, have been proven wrong now. But some people are still resisting those things. And so one of those things would be things like cereals is the breakfast of the champions. And some people really can't help but still having cereals in the morning, even though now we know that it was all a commercial thing and it's actually terrible for your health to have cereals. But this is the Semmelweis reflex. And the example that I give is that some people believe that there's only men or women. That's a big one, because the Bible says otherwise, because the Quran says otherwise, because some religious books say otherwise. So now we have a strong attachment to not believe that. And so a lot of people are going, it's nonsense, it's against science. No, no, no. Science has proven now through neuroscience, we can see through the brain that there are two types of brain. There are brains that are predominantly male and predominantly female. And we are born with one of them. And whatever happens in our body in terms of chromosome or physical parts doesn't necessarily always align with this type of brain. So there you go. I'm not going to talk necessarily about that because I'm here about to talk about psychology and therapy. But I think it was a very important and relevant example to use in that context. Okay, now let me see the comments. I've got some here. Pumpkin Puff, hi Didi, how are you today? I'm very well indeed. How about you? Squirrel Sniper, I breathe for 12 seconds, breathe 5 times, 5 minutes for 7 hours a day. I'm not sure why you're talking about this. I'm trying to remember what I talked about. So you're doing some breathing exercise. We're talking about, is it because of meditation and mindfulness? Breathing is great. You know, it sounds good. I breathe for 12 seconds, 5 times a minute for 7 hours a day. I'm not sure about those numbers, but you know what? If you have a system that works for you, why not? Squirrel Sniper. It creates a state persistence with my childhood observations and being me, intuition and synchronicity 3 or 4 times a day. So basically you utilize breathing and the concept of synchronicity to kind of self-reflect and address your own past, right? Which again sounds like, okay, all right, if it works for you, it sounds good, why not? Evelyn Nanish, you look like Changbin from Stray Kids. I don't know who it is. I know that Stray Kid is it a K-pop or Korean or Kanto pop, some sort of Asian band, boys band. So I assume that I look like one of them, and so I'm going to take this as a compliment. I am not that person. I need to highlight this. I can't sing or dance, and I'm pretty sure that I'm much older. But thank you nevertheless for the compliment, for the comment. Pumpkin Puff, I watched your meditation video as you recommended. Okay, fantastic. And it was really good. Ah, fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm excited to actually apply what you said and try meditation tonight or over the weekend. Fantastic. If you watch it again, please put a comment so that or like so that it can boost into the algorithm. I'm still working on pushing my platform up, so every little help can make a difference and will be welcome. But well done. I'm glad that you watched it, and I'm happy that you can relate to it and that you're going to take action on it. Fantastic. Tyler Durden, clock ticks, loud, dream decays, punch the card, waste today, chasing coins, yet feeling small, rise and fall, no point at all. Okay, that sounds nice. Nice poetry. Let me try to get my head around what it could mean. It's about the absolutity of life and how we must be present and make the most of whatever we have left in time, I assume. Is that Tyler Durden? Pumpkin Puff. I have a question on how you recommend to stop the constant need to doom scroll and actually doing something useful, creative instead. I just get stuck sitting, then feel like shit. It's a very good conversation. Oh, I already commented on that video and I liked it. Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so let's talk about doom scrolling, and it's a real thing that happens to a lot of people. And so we want to look at the bigger picture. It's not about how do I stop doom scrolling. It's why do I doom scroll, and what are the measures that I can take to not need to doom scroll. This is more like this. Often I talk about addiction, and doom scrolling is a type of addiction. And so when I talk about addiction, I always talk about the symptom and the cause. So the symptom is the doom scrolling or whatever other type of addiction. And the cause, the reason why we need that could be depression, disconnection, overwhelm, anxiety, physical discomfort, any of those things and more. And so we talk about the fire and the smoke. The doom scrolling is only the smoke to a fire. You want to find out what is the fire. And there are many different ways to look at it. Everyone is different, so I wouldn't know unless I really speak to you personally, we get to know each other. But at a general level, people tend to doom scroll. So again, I forgot to do my settings, and this WhatsApp notification keeps on coming. It's so, I need to let them go. I will remember next time. Anyway, doom scrolling, back to that. We doom scroll because we don't have anything more important to do, or maybe because we're not satisfied with certain things, we're not happy with our life, we need something. And so in that case, that addiction is more used as a distraction. We're distracting ourselves from something. And so the thing that I could see for many of us would be that we're not satisfied with our life. If I don't have a purpose, if I don't have something that I love, that I'm looking forward to every day, every morning, then I'm going to have a constant feeling of whatever. And so this is where distractions will take our mind away from that lingering, consistent state of dissatisfaction. And so all of this to say that one of the way that I look at it is that if we don't want to doom scroll, it's very simple. We need to have a purpose. We need to have something that we want to do, that we love to do. People who have those things, they don't doom scroll because they are utilizing the time, the energy, the resources, the resting time, so that we can be optimal the next day to do the things that we love to do. And so this is basically the shortcut, the short answer. There are a lot of things that we can talk about, but really, when we doom scroll, it's because we don't like our life. There's nothing that really excites us that much. So we need something, and this is what does it because it's there, it's available, and it's designed for that. The problem is not the social media. Social media is something that was created because there was a demand. It was created by us. So the problem is us, it's not the thing. But again, people who are trying to manipulate others, or people who have very short, narrow vision, they're going to believe it's because of the social media. So they have some illusion of control. And know what is the bad thing, what is the good. We must punish those things. It's like when I was younger, people would blame MTV because satanic music. People would blame video games or mangas or anime. Too much violence from the Japanese. People would blame always something. When internet came up, people would blame internet, and everyone is using it. Social media is the same. People are blaming porn or drugs or addictions of any other sorts, and we never should blame any of those things. Those things are just things. They're created by us for us. What we should understand is why those things were invented, so that some people could basically keep control over us by giving us something so that we can keep going and still feed the system, even though it's at the expense of our own happiness and health. So there you go. Now, I can give you a more practical solution to that. Doom scrolling is also because we don't have any consistency in our life. And so if you have a plan of action, if you know what you should be doing every day, if it's important to you, you know that tomorrow I'm going to wake up at a certain time, I need to have energy to do that, then you would also condition yourself to sleep, to rest, and to choose some distractions or some hobbies that are actually beneficial to you, to yourself, to your brain, to your happiness. Instead of doom scrolling, you may go to the gym, go for a walk in the park, go socialize a little bit, those sort of things instead. Learn something, do something that you enjoy doing. And so, how do we deal with the doom scroll? By addressing the bigger picture. It's not just, there's not one thing that can, and some people say, it's very easy, keep your phone away. But then again, this doesn't really help because it only addresses the tangible part of it. We don't have the phone, so of course we don't have access to scrolling. But there's a part of our mind that is still thinking about it. And also, as soon as we have the phone back, bang, we're back at it. We haven't changed our habit of thought. We only have addressed the habit of action. It's the same thing like with any other addictions. And the example that I often give is people who are trying to eat less junk food. People who can't shift weight because they can't help themselves eating too much food. And it's all subconscious and emotional. And so there's a new show on Netflix. I haven't seen it yet, but it's about people who have won the show called The Biggest Losers in the 1990s. And I always knew that because I know some of the people there who won and who regained all their weight. I spoke to them. And basically, it's a show that was glorifying putting a lot of overweight people in a house and getting them to train like crazy every day nonstop. And the one who would lose the most weight within a certain amount of time would win lots of money, and would win the show as well. But what people don't realize is that first, it was horrible, the things happening to them. No one should go through that physically, emotionally, mentally. But also, everyone who lost weight, even those who won, regained it afterward. Why? Because we only address the habit of actions, not the habits of thought, not the habits of emotions. And it's the same thing with doom scrolling or any other type of addiction. We want to address the belief that we have, the emotional triggers that we have, the habits that we have as to why we need those things into our lives. It was never the thing, right? People who are religious, for instance, they're always going to blame something. It's the thing. It's because of you. You should be ashamed because you have sinned, because you disappointed Jesus or something like that. And they're using the same system because they need to have an illusion of control. They need to understand, not feel that they are totally disempowered in the universe. So they come up with some system like that. And it's the same thing with doom scrolling. The problem is not the doom scrolling. That's why I used also the example of PORN. A lot of people demonize that, and it's just a thing. It is true that some of us can be absolutely addicted to that. I used to be addicted to that, amongst other things, for a long time in my life. But for the vast majority of us, it's not really an addiction, it's just a thing. But people demonize this because it's easier for them to point the finger at something, to burn the witch at the stake. And so, back to your question, how do we stop doom scrolling? By realizing and understanding the bigger picture, and by trying to find some happiness in our lives and organize a lifestyle, a schedule that is going to be balanced and provide us with some exciting moments, so that we know that instead of me doom scrolling, I'd rather do some meditation, go to watch my video again about this, and I'd rather do things that are beneficial for my mental health and my brain's health as well, which is different, slightly different. And so, yeah. And have some schedule. If you know that you have a week, that you have a lot of important things to do, but important as in you want to do those things. It's not I have to, but I want to. If you can be excited about some things every day, every morning, then you will actually program your mind at a subconscious level to fall asleep and to wake up because it wants you to be optimal and ready for those exciting things. So again, we're back into that place where we need to create joy and happiness and excitement in our life. Those are the markers that can allow us to reprogram our subconscious mind, even when it comes to sleeping and insomnia and doom scrolling. Thank you for your heart. Does it help, Pumpkin Puff? Who are you? Hello, Didi. Nice to see you. Thank you. Who are you? Pumpkin Puff. I really appreciated that you talked about how to shift focus and not become frustrated with trying to empty thoughts. Yes, so this is all my work. Let go of the tension, let go of the pressure, let go of discipline, perseverance, or responsibilities. Let go. Those is all, to me, the reasons as to why people struggle. We must do things that allow us to flow easily. Nothing should ever be hard. But sadly, because society and culture has taught us that, it takes us some time to let go of that. I was talking about the Semmelweis reflex at the start of this live stream, and this is one of them. People believe that I must work hard. All the good things only happen at the cost of some sacrifice and hardship. And it's not true at all. Sometimes there are some correlation, but things don't have to be hard. If anything, if we can make it easy, it's even better. Pumpkin puff. I tend to doom scroll after work to wind down, but then I become frustrated with the media or feel like I don't have the energy to do anything else. So I hope that I covered this with my explanation. Kay Stevens. Hi Didi. Hello Kay. Pumpkin puff. I kept wanting to break the habit, but then wouldn't think I don't know what to do, so I just keep doing this even though I'm bored. So there you go. Chris Hilton. Blue kangaroo. Good evening, Didi. Hello. I'm not sure about the blue kangaroo comment. What is it about? Changing thoughts, choosing thoughts? You're choosing to think about a blue kangaroo? Fionn Bar. Let me try to read this once. Fionn Baralogia 38. I'm going to call you Fionn. Before doom scrolling, it was channel hopping. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In the 90s, changing channels, when there was a lot of channels, absolutely, all night long. And some people may actually do still that on Netflix, choosing a program, going through the whole thing for hours on end, still not deciding what they're going to watch because there's so much choice. But at the same time, there's a lot of choice, but we have seen everything already. so the scrolling on the Netflix page is the entertainment of the evening itself. Fionn, very good point. Before doom scrolling, it was channel hopping. I didn't do it because there was only 4 channels on the television. Okay, so you're talking about the 80s, even before we had all those channels. SLJY, thank you, thank you. Pumpkin Puff, yes, you mentioned some really good points. It's not as simple as just hiding the phone, but changing the thoughts and associations. Yes, the thing is that if we don't change our habit of thoughts, that will even affect the way we are anyway. You may keep your phone away, but you're going to still think about it. They've done some studies, and we know that if you keep your phone next to your bed as you sleep, it's not a good idea because you're going to end up checking your phone. But even if you didn't end up checking your phone, they put some stuff, electroencephalograms or whatever it may be, to see what was happening in the brain. And they found out that people who have the phone in their bedroom, they still have a part of the brain that is switched on because it knows that the phone is there. So maybe it's expecting for some notification or it wants to go there, but there's a part of the brain that is still switched on as long as it knows that the phone is in the room. And so that's why people are saying, get the phone away from the room. Right? So we're not talking about doom scrolling. We're just talking about the presence of the phone. And so a random information that is somehow correlated to what we talk about is that if you want to have a better sleep, make sure that your phone is in a different room. Because even though you may not consciously think about it, your brain is still connected to it somehow if it's still within arm's reach. Yeah. Just a random thing that is quite interesting. Pumpkin Puff. My husband channel hopes. Okay. He will open every app, look at everything, close it, reopen it again, and the cycle continue. So there you go. So this comes from us being programmed to have a normal life without joy. We're being told, this is life, you should be doing this, you should go to school and university and get a job and work very hard and hate your life and go to holidays every now and then retire at a certain age. And this is the plan. But it's not a plan that works for the most of us, and that's why we're unhappy and we end up doing all those things because there's nothing else. We think that it's normal. This is my normality. Gosh, life sucks, it's normal. Suck it up, be a grown up, this is how it is. You must be responsible, you must do all those things. No, we're not happy. What's the point of having a life if we're not happy? And what we don't realize is that we have been conditioned all along to feed a capitalist system. Some people are happy. Some people at the top, they are on their yacht, they don't care because they know that so many of us, we believe that we should be having those normal lives, and that's normal. But if we're not happy, it's not normal at all. And And so there's a really important conversation to have here is the connection between society and mental health. Mental health is not just about the past and our wounds, it's also about our very present and the way society is gaslighting us into believing that we should be doing this and that instead of listening to our intuition and do what we feel we should be doing. And this is, again, the solution to the problem. If you can find a life of purpose and find a way gradually, it doesn't have to be atomic. It doesn't have to be all or nothing right here, right now. But you can create some strategies to create a life that is organized around you, around your neurodiversity, neurodivergence, around your interest, around the things that excite you, that stimulate you positively, as opposed to my parents want me to be a doctor or an engineer or whatever, so I'm going to do this because everyone says this is the good thing, and I want to please them as well. I want to have some validations from my parents, from society, from my peers. I want to have a title. I want to be special. I want to be better. But because of that, we end up in the wrong directions, and it's empty there. Because we are looking at things that are external. We are not feeding our inner needs. We are driven by external motivation, by external reward. And the more we do this, and as long as we do this, we're going to feel empty because we are never addressed our inner desire, motivation, drive, and need, which is basically doing the things that come naturally to us, that are exciting to us, the things that we loved when we were a kid, that sort of things. Pumpkin puff. It feels so weird to try so hard to find something shiny to bring the smallest amount of dopamine. We've just been conditioned to do this. Society has always done that. If you think about it, alcohol is legal and is celebrated and glorified, and it's terrible for your health. There's a reason behind this, because they know that people who drink alcohol, they're going to be stuck into that loop. It's okay, life is not so bad, we have alcohol. Cigarettes also. In the past, I don't know, in the 50s, whenever, they had some advertisement for cigarette brands in the doctor's waiting room. Lucky Strike, it's good for you. Guinness, it's great, full of iron, makes you stronger. All of this nonsense, because they know that they can give the opium to the people, to keep them going, to produce for the people at the top. And it's the same thing with social media, it's the same thing with television and media and news. It's the same thing with education and history, it's the same thing with everything. And so we need to have an awareness of that. We don't want to be paranoid, we don't want to live in a bubble of conspiracy theories, but we want to understand that there is some truth behind this and we can do better. Pumpkin Puff, sorry for so many back comments. Don't be sorry, you're good. Please never feel sorry with me. There's nothing for you to ever feel sorry about when you are talking with me. Zero waste, lol, yeah, novelty at Pumpkin Puff. Pumpkin Puff, do you think society is made to make us unhappy so we are always drained? Yes, unequivocally. Society doesn't care about us. It doesn't care about our happiness. It doesn't care about our health. It doesn't care about our self-realization. It doesn't care about our growth. It doesn't care about anything. Society is, and now we're finding out more and more. See what is going with Epstein files. We're realizing that everyone who are at the top, everyone who are very rich and very powerful, they eat babies, they're quite horrible, they need to have some new things to feel good about themselves because they have everything already. And they've been lying to everyone all the time. Even the Epstein files that have been released now, it's a distraction. Trump released those files because he knows that people are going to be focused on that. He doesn't care because he has erased all the things about him. Right? But he knows that everyone is going to be absolutely engulfed in those news. And so that means that behind the scenes, he's doing something else. Maybe they're still destroying Gaza. Maybe they're planning some World War III, some other things that are horrible. But because everyone's eyes are on the Epstein files, they're giving that to the people. Now everyone is going to talk about the same thing, thinking about the same thing, and not see what they are really doing behind everyone's back. It's always been like that. Whenever you have some big news, you want to ask yourself, what are we trying to hide? What are we doing behind everyone's back? So yes, society is made to make us feel terrible. It creates division. All of your problems are because of the immigrants. They're coming over, taking your jobs, taking all the space in the hospitals. And it's just not true. It's not the way we should look at it. Absolutely not. There's a lot of lies. But they do this because they know, they understand that some people are very uneducated and they're living in fear and anger and poverty. And so they're easily manipulated. If you keep on telling them all of the problems are because of them, now they have again an illusion of understanding, an illusion of control, an illusion of power. And they're going to reclaim the power by putting some business that are not from white people on fire and other sort of things, beating up some people in the street, and it's just terrible. But again, even those people, so I'm talking about the far right people, people who vote for Farage and Brexit, people who voted for Trump and ICE, all those people, this is the irony. They really believe they're doing the right thing. In the heart of heart, it's like the Nazi youth. Back then, they really believed that they were doing the right thing. They don't know. It's not their fault. It is the fault of the people at the top who are creating the division, us versus them, the right versus the left. And I see that all the time. Again, I was talking about how when we start a journey of awakening, we can feel very lonely at times. And it's the state of the world. When we look at the world, and so many people are like, the bloody extreme left-wing liberals, and on the right hand, the bloody Trumpists. And we don't realize that we're all being played, all of us. It was never this or that. It's the ones who are making us believe. It's like good cop, bad cop. It was always meant to happen. And it's something that is very deep and very dark. But now, more than ever, there's more awareness about all of those things. And so, because I'm a mental health professional, I need to talk about this. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I don't talk about politics for the sake of politics. I talk about politics when there's some relevance in regards to mental health and psychology. So, yeah. Which it has. SLJY. Thank you. Nowadays, it's been hard to keep going and following the same mundane routine every day. I am moving, though, with sheer willpower, but it is exhausting. How can I manage mental burnout? Let go of the willpower. Do the opposite of what you've been doing. This is how you do it. You believe that I must plow through the hardship. And the more you do this, the more you're able to make it one day at a time, but the more you are burning out because you have a limited amount of energy. Right? So what you want to do is to allow yourself sometimes to feel shit, to feel terrible, to be low, to cry, to shout, to not do anything. Let it out. And then do something that makes you feel happy. Let this all out. But eventually do something that makes you feel good. And then once you are back into that place where you're no longer into that momentum, I must plow through, I must keep pushing, I must survive, then choose to reorganize the whole way you look at your life. I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to do my best one day at a time, one moment at a time. I don't need to do everything. I don't need to have everything. I don't need to tick all the boxes. I'm just going to do the bare minimum, but I want to make sure that I feel good. Your priority is to feel good. It's not to do all of those things. It's not because you will never be able to do everything. And even if you did it all, you wouldn't be happier. The problem is not those things. The problem is your relationship with life, with reality, with everything. And again, it's not your fault. It's no one's fault ever. But we have been programmed to do this, and you don't have to. We can talk about it if you want. It's a big topic. You don't need, let go of the willpower. Instead, do things out of love for yourself. Listen to your body. Listen to your intuition. Do things that feel right. As opposed to, I'm going to get some willpower and some strength and some courage. No, be vulnerable. Let the negative energy out. Feel it. Process all of those emotions. But then choose an easy life. I do what I do. I'm going to practice gratitude for the things that I have, and I'm going to surrender to the universe. I'm going to trust the universe to support me, to look after me. I'm going to do my best with whatever I can, but I don't need sheer willpower. I just need to do whatever I can do in this moment and follow my flow as best as I can. So again, it's a big thing. right? It's not going to happen like that. But we can talk about this if you want. Elizabeth Tunstall. Thank you, Didi, for your interesting insight. I'm glad you appreciate them. Thank you, Elizabeth. Kay Stevens, I loved your video about when someone says to you, I'm sorry you feel that way. You're so right in your response to that. Say you need to feel sorry for what you said. I loved it. Okay. So this is about gaslighting. Very often people say, I'm sorry you feel this way. And this is not an apology. When people say that, they're essentially downloading the problem on you. You feel that way because of you, because you are too sensitive. There's something wrong with you. Sort yourself out. I'm sorry that you feel this way. And so what we should be saying instead is, don't feel sorry for how I feel. How I feel is my business. It's not your business. Your business is to feel sorry for what you've said, for what you've done. Take accountability for what you have done and said that have hurt me. And this is how we want to confront people and teach them about how to apologize properly. So they may resist. There's a lot of ego battles going on, but we want to at least raise that awareness. When someone says, I'm sorry, this is how you feel, they may not do it on purpose, consciously, but it is not an excuse. No, it is not an apology. It is gaslighting. They're protecting themselves from accountability. It's because of you. You are too sensitive. And no, it's because of them. And we all do this. I did that myself. But having an awareness of this is where we start to change. Thank you for little heart. I'm coming to the end of the thread for the first time. Today I'm going to have a sip of tea. And I'm going to wait for any more comments from you guys if you have anything you'd like to talk about. Pumpkin Puff. On the subject of gaslighting, how do you bring up that someone is making you feel bad? Just tell them. If someone is making you feel bad, but for you it's a bit different because you have BPD. And so for people who have BPD, anything and everything will make us feel bad. We have some filters that get us to interpret what is happening under different light. It's like it's literally like a filter. People are optimistic, for instance, with a filter that is pink or rainbow. They see life in rainbow or pink color. For people like us with BPD, we see everything through the filter of suspicion. What are they trying to do? Why are they trying to hurt us? And so because of that, that distorts our experience of this moment. That creates a different reality for us. But in any way, what you want to do is to always express yourself. However, you want to find a way to express yourself that is as calm as possible. So again, if you are feeling that, so the first step for you, again, for those who have unhealed trauma or BPD, you want to always pay attention to your body. Pay attention to how you feel. Regularly check how you feel. How is my heart feeling? How is my breathing? How is my neck? Is it tense? How is my stomach? How do I feel? So that you have an idea of, well, if you're chilled or if you are a bit tense. If you're a little bit tense, then you want to practice breathing and learn how to reset your whole body. Because we are more susceptible to splitting when we are already in that state. And so this is the prevention measure. Pay attention to how you feel, breathe, do your best, practice meditation, mindfulness. Mindfulness is that, being aware of something. So in that case, it's being aware of your body. How am I feeling? What are the sensations? But also, how am I feeling? Is there something? Is there a shift in my state? Learn how to notice all of those things and label those things. Try to find a way to give a name to all of your emotions and feelings so that you can understand them, as opposed to just experiencing them and just becoming them, as opposed to allowing for those things to kind of possess you, right? Which is how it feels like when we have BPD and we split. We're being possessed in the moment. We're being possessed by the thought, by the emotions, by the habits. And so if we can notice what is coming, I can do something. Before I say anything, before I do anything, I can breathe. If I feel that I'm too bad, I can go out. Excuse me, guys, I need to take some fresh air. And because your husband knows you, he will understand. Okay, it's okay. He's working on himself. He knows that something is coming up. So he's going to take a preemptive measure about it. So this is what I would suggest you to do, Pumpkin Puff. check your state and make sure that you're always a step ahead as much as you can. And then when you are back into that state of mental clarity, then tell your husband, you know what you said hurt my feelings. And if you have worked together, because there's also a need for you to work on it together beforehand, then he will acknowledge it and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, and I hope that you believe me. And then you can hug, and then chill. Salmano Sama, thoughts on ASU frat leader Framemojing clavicular. No thoughts about it because I don't understand the question. Sorry. And it doesn't sound like the sort of topic that I would be good at. It's not the sort of topic that I would have an interesting opinion about because it doesn't make any sense to me. For me, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Salmano. Pumpkin Puff. I had a feeling you'd say that something of the sort, that I'm the exception. I understand though, it's hard for me to talk about my feeling calmly. Yes. So it's not that it's hard for you to talk about your feelings calmly. It's hard to talk about your feelings calmly when you are in a state. There are other moments where you can talk about your feelings calmly. So the problem is not the talking about your feelings. The problem is how you feel in this moment. So back to what I was saying again, pay attention to how you feel, stay grounded, practice meditation and mindfulness, and apply those things. It's a skill that you do. Eventually, it will be easier for you to stay or to return to a place of being grounded and calm. And when you're in that place, it's easier for you to talk about your feelings, right? Pumpkin Puff, I've been working on it, though. My husband even noticed I was staying calm during arguments. Fantastic. So I want you to focus on this progress. I'm so happy with that. Well done, you. I know how hard it is for someone with BPD to do those things. So well done. I really see you. Fantastic. This is fucking brilliant. Pardon my French. This is really, really good. I'm so happy. Well done, you. Focus on that. Tell your husband, tell yourself, remind yourself, we're doing well, we're getting better. And keep going. And whenever you feel disempowered, whenever you are down, whenever you're angry, whenever you are feeling some despair, remind yourself of this. You know what? It's only a moment. I've done some progress. I can do it again and again. Remember the seesaw motion, going on the way up. In that moment, I'm going down, but I'm still going up as a whole, right? So visualize this. And that will help you take the actions to again come back to your place of anchor and be able to be calm again, despite the storm coming. You may be able to dodge it. Well done. Parisa, hi Didi. Hello Parisa. SLJY. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for appreciating them. Anything you want to ask me or to share, I'd love to address those things. Except for Salmano, which I still don't understand the intervention at this point in time. Pumpkin Puff. Oh, that made me so happy. Thank you, Didi. Of course, of course. There's a reason we do those things together, right? And so keep coming, right? It's working. It's helping along with all the other things that you're doing. I'm not taking all the credits for that, but I know that everything adds up. And because you've been coming to my live streams regularly week after week, I know that it has, or talking together has brought some positive into the whole work that you're doing already. So yeah, keep it up. And for those who don't know, I'm here every Wednesdays and every Fridays on YouTube from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time every week. I do this out of my free time. Sometime I go on other platforms like TikTok if I have the time, but it's quite rare. I went yesterday, exceptionally after a long, long time. But if you want to find me for sure, you will find me on YouTube. And so if you enjoy this, if you believe that you can benefit from my help, or if you know anyone who does, get them involved. Subscribe, follow me, and come and join the chat. This is generally what I do to give some love and karma payback. I had a terrible life myself for 38 years that I changed, thankfully, luckily. And now my job is to make sure that I use what I've learned about my own experience to help others. So yeah. Pumpkin Cuff. Nothing would work without you, though. Oh, wow. Thank you. When my husband mentioned that, he also noticed, I was like, wow, I actually did it. Yes. Okay. Thank you. And well done. And all and say hello to your husband from me. I'm happy about this as well. Jenny on the Hill. Thoughts on right motivation for dog ownership. For the first time in 30 years, I was without a dog from July. In some ways, it's really good. I'm free, etc. But I miss having a dog. It is just, it's just validation seeking and silly. You don't need to have a motivation to have a dog. You love dog. You're a dog person already. You had dogs for 30 years. And so if you had dog for 30 years, I don't believe it's possible for you to spend too much time with that dogs. You know that you need a dog in your life. Your dogs, what we don't realize is that pets are our nervous system regulator. I found out myself. I had dog for 17 years, not as long as you, but we just lost our last dog last year in March. But before that, we had 3 French bulldogs for the length of 17 years. And what I never realized is how important they were to my happiness, to my joy. It's not that I always knew they were important because I think about them all the time, but how important they were to regulate my nervous system, to do with my anxiety and depression, all of those things that we all experience all throughout our life. So I don't suffer from those things anymore. But every now and then we have ups and downs. And if you have a dog, it really boosts your level of dopamine, endorphin, serotonin, oxytocin in your body just by being with them, petting them, doing things with them. And so I believe that if you had dog for 30 years and you are telling me this, you will have dogs again at some point. I understand that after a long time with dog, being without dog is kind of freeing, and we are going for the same. We don't want to have dog straight away, but we know that we will at some point again. We're enjoying, just like you, freedom, peace, not having to take them out 5 times a day, or always worrying about them. But at some point, we will get back to them because we understand that this is the kind of lifestyle that works best for us. And it's the same with you, isn't it? Just listen to how you feel and know that when you are ready, you will have dogs again. There's no reason why, unless, I don't know, you realize that you have shifted. You prefer cats, or you want to travel, or I don't know. But for the fact that you are mentioning it, tells me that you still think about them. Dogs. Some random person. Hello, I am new to your stress, to my stress, but I've been subbed to the channel for a while. So I'm not sure what you mean, but I am new to your stress. Do you mean to my live stream? I think that's what you mean. But I've been subbed to the channel for a while. Okay, well, thank you. So basically, if you've been following me for a while, you may not have known up till now that I do indeed come live on YouTube twice a week, every week. And I leave all my live streams to be replayed on my channel the following day. So if you want to ask me anything, that's what I do. Crowberry Black said hi. Hello. Jenny on the Hill. Oops, sorry, so I read that. The Capital Alpha. Hello from Finland. Hello. First time in your stream, but I love to see your videos here on YouTube. Algorithm knows when to guide me to your content. Fantastic. You're amazing in giving wise advice and calming energy. Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate. Again, for anyone who is new, if you want to ask me anything, I'm here up till 8 o'clock today. Parisa, my mom had BPD. How does this usually affect children? I stay away from overly emotional and aggressive people because they trigger bad memories I have from my mom. How do I become more inclusive? Okay, I understand. So it's not easy. I have BPD and my mom has BPD as well. So I totally understand your question. It depends. We're all different. But basically, you would have had some trauma. If you live with a parent that is a BPD, for sure, if you see them, if you live with them, you will have some trauma, because we are impossible to live with, and yeah, we can really hurt people, sadly. And so you see it yourself. I stay away from overly emotional and aggressive people. You have created a system to protect yourself from people who may remind you of people like your mom, because they trigger bad memories. How do I become more inclusive? So how do you become more inclusive? You want to change. It's a tricky one. We're all different, but basically, your subconscious mind has created a system to keep you wary of people who are a little bit too much like your mom. So it exists to protect you. Now, if it's hindering your quality of life, which would, there are different ways to look at it. What you want to do is to address your belief and your emotional triggers. Find out. There's many different ways. So the root of therapy, based on the tools that I use with my clients, will be to address your belief system. Find out what beliefs that you have that are subconscious and emotional, that still exist. How did they come about? When did you create those beliefs? So through the tool of hypnosis, I would go back into the memories of your past, and we will find out those episodes of your past when you created those beliefs that have now developed and gone out of control and affecting your adulthood. And I would change the emotional energy of those memories, so that you don't feel like that anymore when you're in public. So that's how I would address this. Now, there are many different ways to do this. If you don't feel like doing that, you can learn how to do it with different protocols. So it's for you to go on that journey to find out what system will work best for you. A lot of people practice meditation and mindfulness. It's a great way to be in touch with ourselves, and it's a process that takes a long time to happen, but that's one of the ways to do this. Essentially, what you want to do is to do a lot of self-reflection work, whichever way it is. You can learn about your mind, read some books about it. You can try different protocols. You can try some somatic exercises. You can go for EMDR. You can try some all sorts of different type of therapies. There are tons of stuff out there. But what you want to do is to change your subconscious systems that were put into place in your childhood because of your mom, and you just want to upgrade that program. So we can do something today if you want. If you can tell me a specific pattern of reaction and thought. If you can give me a pattern of how a situation that is recurrent in your life gets you to feel and think in a certain way, and if you can tell me what you think and how you feel then, now we can work on that together right here, right now. Parisa. But essentially, we want to upgrade our belief. So we want to change the way you look at things. You want to change your perspective. Yeah. Does it make sense, Parisa? Pumpkin Puff. Aha, yes, I will tell him you said hello. Your name is equal to Sensei in our house. Oh, wow. So this brings me great joy. Thank you, Pumpkin Puff. The Capital Alpha. Can I ask you, are you doing some other work besides being an amazing content creator? If yes, if what kind of field you have been working? I am an RTT therapist. So I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and a rapid transformational therapist. And the tools that I use are a blend of hypnosis, regression, and belief reframing at a subconscious level. This is my job, my day job. I've been doing this since 2017, and the content creation is something that I do on the side because I enjoy content creation, and I have a message and I want to spread the words. I want to teach people how to understand how their mind works so that we can all heal together. I have my own past and I have fixed a lot of things, so I have learned a lot along the way, and also being a mental health professional myself, every day teaches me more and more, and so really I'm here to help, in the sense that I understand that we all need some help, but no one knows where to find the help. And so I believe that this is my way to add my little pinch of salt into the mix, and hopefully all together we'll manage somehow to make this world a better place at some point. And it starts with us being happy, as opposed to living with depression, anxiety, hatred, division, limiting belief. So yes, thank you for the question, Capital Alpha. Mr. OCD, hello. Some random person stream. Yes, sorry, I misread. Okay. I thought I understood. Thank you. The Capital Alpha, some emoji of, I don't know what it is, something pink and yellow. Angela, hi Didi, what can I do to help God or the universe to bring my soul mate into my life? I've never met any potential candidate and I don't know what to do. I'm in my 40s. You want to change your belief. You don't help God or the universe to bring you your soulmate. At this point in time, you believe that you need God or the universe to do it for you. And this is why it's not happening. Because you're waiting for something bigger than you to do the work for you. Instead of realizing that you can do this yourself. Right? Your soulmate is everywhere. We are zillions of people. There's someone for everyone. There's more than one person. And you may be seeing your soulmate every day. But as long as you believe that something must come from some divine intervention, you need something else, that means that you believe that you're not enough to make this happen. And so essentially, what you want to do is to learn how to love yourself. Learn how to accept yourself. Learn to realize that you deserve a lot of good things in your life and that you can be proud of a lot of things that you have achieved. And the more you can learn how to love yourself, the more you are showing that you are lovable. The more you are showing everyone that this is me, I love myself, look at all those beautiful things about me that you can love about me too. So as you do that, you're teaching people to love you. And then all those people around you, many of them will notice that and will want then realize, I can love that person, I want to love that person, and they will come to you. And then we'll go on that journey of dating different people and finding out more about yourself as you are going through relationships, and eventually you may even end up with your soulmate. But you want to stop believing that you're at the mercy of some greater force. You are a part of life. You are part of the universe. You are God. In the sense that you can change anything about your life if you can understand that all that you ever had to do was to learn how to love yourself as far as romantic relationships are concerned. For me, God is the energy of love. It's the energy of creation. It's not a person. It's not a sentient. It's an energy. It's an energy that gets us to move forward, to evolve, to grow, to connect. And so by learning how to love yourself, in that moment you become God, and you are creating that reality for you, eventually, over time. Does it help, Angela? Does it make sense at all? Do you want to talk more about this? If you believe that you need someone or something to help you bring a soulmate in your life, it means that you also believe that you're not enough to make it on your own. And you can. I did a video on my YouTube channel called How to Love Yourself. Check it out. The title, it was 2 months ago. It's one long form video, not a short one. And it's called Self-Love 101. It's a 7 minutes video. And on the thumbnail, it says How to Love Yourself. Check it out. That could actually help you. My watch is telling me that it's time for me to post my third TikTok video of the day. So just bear with me, please. I'm going to do it straight away. Too much. It's just 1 sec, please. Sorry. Just want to make sure that it's fully loaded. Okay, that's done. Okay, thank you. Let me come back to you now. So, Angela, do you want to talk more about this? Do you want to ask me more? But also, as I said, check the video, How to Love Yourself, Self-Love 101. I believe that this is what you should be doing, just based on what you said in your question. Zero Waste, really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and helping us in healing. Thank you so much, Zero Waste. The Capital Alpha, Thank you so much for answering my question. Really appreciate your input here, and it brings such joy to know that you are in such a great line of work. Fantastic, thank you. So yeah, I exist, I'm here. If you consider working with me at a professional level, there's a link on my bio to my website. The capital alpha, the emojis were a tiny emoji person holding a heart or just sending love, haha. Okay, thank you. I didn't know, I thought it was some sort of pumpkin with some babies coming out of it, something like that. Oh well. Angela, thank you for your advice, Didi. Thank you so much, Angela. I'm glad you appreciate. I'm glad that it resonates. I hope that it does. The capital alpha, is it possible to change my self-perception without also changing my environment? Will my static environment respond to my change well, or will I always need to change my environment as I grow? It depends. So we are absolutely intertwined with our environment. Whatever is happening around us affects us, and we affect our environment conversely. However, for those of us who have a good understanding of our mind, if we've done some work, we can absolutely be not affected by our environment. But until we do that, until we know how to do this, we will be affected by our environment. And I would say that even if we are very good at this, we still have our limitations. And so for instance, I've changed a lot. I've worked on a lot. I used to be super reactive to my environment all the time. Again, BPD, bipolar, ADHD, CPTSD. And so I was always constantly super connected with everything and overstress and overreact all the time and take everything personally. But then I worked on myself, and now I know how to deal with situations specifically. However, because of my condition still, and because we can't change everything about ourselves, there will still be some instance where I may be overwhelmed. So I know my limitations and I know how to organize myself. And this is a very important part of the conversation when it comes to mental health. We need to address three things. I talk about this all the time. The first thing we want to address is the emotional triggers, emotional blocks, emotional filters that are creating the problems in our life now. Number two, lifestyle. Do you eat well? Do you sleep well? Do you move? All of those things. Number three, environment. Make sure that the people in your life at work and at home are positive, not toxic, not overwhelming. If you have ADHD, like me, for instance, there will be some places where I need to take my EMF because it will be too much for me. I know this, I'm prepared. Look, I've got an earplug here because I live in central London. So sometimes there's some sirens, some noise in the street, and it takes my mind away and I forget everything. So that helps me be a bit more focused on what I'm doing here. I know myself. But also, I know that when I'm going to have some emotional outburst, if it happens, it may happen, we're all human, I have a system to deal with those things. But I also know that for me to be able to use those systems, I need to make sure that my environment is optimal. If I don't sleep enough, if I don't eat well, if I don't move, if I don't train for a week, if I don't go out in nature for a week, and if I'm caught into one of those moments, it will be much harder for me to return to a place of calm. So all of those things are important. It's never just this or that. So the answer to your question is the universal answer. It depends. But is it possible to change your self-perception without changing the environment? Yes, it is possible. We're all different. Some of us, we may not have the choice. And the example that I often think about is Nelson Mandela. He was in prison, he couldn't move away for 23 years or whatever time he spent there. And yet he was able to create an inner world that allowed him, when he was finally free, to self-realize. Angela, I will watch your video. Thank you, Didi. Fantastic. Thank you, Angela. And please drop a comment on the video and let me know how you feel about it by the end of it. Jenny on the hill, I have to go, but thanks you so much. I knew you'd understand about the dog thing. Fantastic. Yes, doggy is good. For me, dogs, and I talk about it often, are angels in disguise. I really believe that they're literally angels in disguise. Whenever I feel a bit in need of comfort, I'm thinking about my dogs. But I'm also thinking now about all the dogs in the world. So I'm thinking about Lily, Alfie, and Leon. They were their names. And I feel good because I have them in my mind. I can remember how they feel, how they smell, how they sounded, the way on my chest, the temperature of their body, everything. I've recorded everything. So it feels amazing. It's like having them here. But I'm also realizing that there are dogs everywhere. So I'm thinking about the dogs in my buildings. I have some neighbors that have dogs in the street. And to me, I see them like angels. The angels in different homes, different places, looking after us. They come into this dimension to ease our life, to teach us about unconditional love. So yeah, so that thought is great. Instead of thinking about what is happening in the world, sometimes I just go in that place and I think about all those dogs, and I literally visualize and see all the dogs everywhere around me, in the streets, in the buildings, and I love that we are supported somehow. And dogs are one of the manifestations of that support. GEP Nutrition UK. I don't think I'm good at communicating, so I stopped talking so much. I want to connect with people, but it's taking a long time to find my tribe. What's a tip to start talking without anxiety? There's no tip to talk to. If you want a tip to talk without anxiety, it's going to be hacks for you to pretend to be someone else. So that'll be learning how to mask furthermore. Pretend that you're normal. Pretend that you're calm. Pretend that you're okay. Anxiety exists for a reason. It's inside of you because it wants to protect you from the fear of rejection, from the fear of abandonment, from the fear of failure, from the fear of being seen, from the fear of whatever that may happen. You may get into trouble if you are being seen. And so there's a reason anxiety exists. And so what you want to do is to address your anxiety. Go straight to the core of your problems. Don't try to find a hack. The more you try to find a hack for the anxiety, the more you are creating a persona, a fake version of yourself, a mask, which is what we all do. We have masks in society because we believe that we're not enough. So I must pretend that I'm this or that. Instead, I'd say, embrace your anxiety. At this point in time, I would say work on it, but also at the same time, accept that this is who you are. Be vulnerable, be transparent, be honest. Don't try to pretend, I'm not anxious. Tell people, you know what, I have a little bit of anxiety, but I would like to talk with you. And if they're the right people, they will get it. They say, okay, it's all right, me too. And they will start to chat with you at a different level. Some people may say, what the heck are you talking about? What you say is stupid. Then they're not for you. Those people, tell them, you know what, sorry, I had the wrong idea, bye-bye. And then go in a different direction. The world is full of people. This is how you find your tribe. You don't find your tribe by putting mask on, by trying to be normal. Because as long as you do that, no one can see who you are. And if you can be transparent and show to people, you know what, I have social anxiety, I'm working on it. No one is perfect, we all have baggage, and it's okay. I have no shame about it. Then you are showing the world who you are. And people who are like you, seeking people like you, your tribe will see you, will recognize you because you are doing this. So this is how we find our tribe. It's not just about us looking, it's about us being honest so that people can spot you, so that your peers, your people can see you. Does it make sense? Are you neurodivergent? Because there's that as well. If you're neurodivergent, there are plenty of tribes of neurodivergence, more and more so nowadays than ever. Angela, do you have BPD, bipolar personality disorder, DD? Yes, I do. I'm not officially diagnosed. I was officially diagnosed with bipolar in my 20s, but I found out throughout the pandemic that I also have ADHD, CPTSD, and BPD. And I'm waiting for the diagnosis to happen, but it takes forever. But I know I'm 55. I'm a mental health professional. And, ever since the pandemic, everything made sense. And I went through the pandemic really having a mega aha moment, and that helped me actually become better at addressing people with BPD. Before that, I had some people with BPD, and I was not so sure. And it's still, I was at the beginning of my career. But now, for whatever reason, probably because of that, I have been attracting a lot of people with BPD and having a lot of success with them. Because I can easily tap into myself to remember how it feels. And when you can feel how it feels, it's a game changer. We are creatures of emotions and feelings. And also, the thing that makes me very good at this sort of situation is that because I've been there, I have a level of empathy, compassion, and patience that very few people have, because I understand it from an emotional perspective. A lot of my colleagues, they pass me their BPD clients, they can't deal with them, they don't know what to do with them, they're terrified, they're scared, or they just angry at them because of whatever they said to them. And so, yes, there's that. So yes, Angela, why do you ask? GEP Nutrition UK. Your meditation practice has changed the way I think about my focus. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. So again, this is the ADHD brain. We connect dots together. And basically, I'm sharing something that I don't think anyone has ever shown. And it's the idea that if you want to do anything, especially meditation, you want to make it as easily as possible. It's got to be easy. The only type of meditation that is best for you, whoever that you are, is the one that you can do easily, simply, and even enjoy doing it. And it goes with everything else. Letting go of resistance. Parisa, thank you, Didi. Thank you, Parisa. The capital Alpha. Oh, I appreciate your answer. I'm working on all those things for a long time now, almost 15 years, and I've come a long way. Fantastic. Maybe just searching for some of confirmation that I'm on the right path. You are on the right path. You absolutely are. Because the path is your whole life. So we believe that we are not arrived because we believe that we need to arrive when it comes to healing, right? I'm in a place of pain. I want to come to a place where everything is beautiful and fantastic and happy and light and easy. And it's not like that. Life is always going to have ups and downs. Healing is understanding that we are going on that journey. It's the direction, right? And again, as I always do, it's the seesaw motion that goes on the way up. And so you are doing all right. As long as you have that awareness that you want to change, it's my own journey. I've been aware of this all my life. Most of the time, because I was either high or drunk or hungover, or I couldn't think straight. But the rare moment where I could think straight, I had that awareness that I'm on a journey and I need to find a way out of that pain and suffering. And so it took me 38/39 years to have my big first aha moment. And everything changed then. And I'm not going to talk about it today because it's something that I talk about at the start of the live stream because it's quite long. But ever since, I had many more aha moments. And I will still always all my life, because healing is not about addressing one thing. It's about addressing how our brain operates in regards to all aspects of our life. And so healing is about addressing the main triggers that are problematic, the main reactions that we have. But then, because we still have the same brain in regards to everything else, there will still be other situations where we're going to realize, I can do this better. And this is where the work continues all throughout our life. And so don't think about healing like a destination, it's a journey. And I want you to focus on the progress as opposed to focusing on arriving. I did a post not long ago, and I think people didn't really respond to it well, even though to me, it's a wonderful post. And I think it goes something like, you find the healing process slow because you're not focused on healing. You're focused on arriving. So in my mind, it's amazing. But people didn't relate to that, and it's fair enough. But this is the whole idea behind it. When you start a journey of healing, and that goes for everyone, including you, Pumpkin Puff, as long as we have that awareness, we are doing well. That's it. It's going to take some time. We're all different. It's not a competition. We can't compare. We can't expect. We can only do our best and focus on our progress and appreciate that our best is good enough and that our best is a mindset. If you can appreciate that you are doing your best and being satisfied with your progress, you are in a good place in your life, wherever that you are. Because this goes the same way the other way around. If you are never satisfied with what you have, no matter what you have, will never be enough. And so, yeah. Thank you for the little hearts. GEP Nutrition, get rid of limiting belief. Thank you for this reminder. Yes. So there's a lot of ways to address limiting belief, but essentially the whole experience of healing, personal growth, personal development is about upgrading our belief. That's it. Changing the way we look at things, changing the way we look at ourselves in this life. Pumpkin Puff, I agree with you about dogs, animals in general. When I'm really in a dark place, there is a smiling, happy dog in my face to lick my tears. Fantastic. Yes. Even just cooking, there's a happy friend waiting, wanting a treat. Yes, absolutely. Since my dogs are gone, I feel that I'm missing something. That's what I was saying, you know, just sleeping, hugging, playing with them, being in contact with them, seeing them, hearing them, laughing at them because of just them, because French bulldogs are hilarious. All of these things, again, it's only when we don't have them anymore that we notice and realize how important they were. And I'm talking about my nervous system, how it made everything easier. Pumpkin Puff. Nothing quite like getting trampled with love by happy dogs that are so excited to see you. Yes. Lifestyle Chav Chat said hi. Hello. Seaside Sinner. Hello, Didi. How can you tell a client that a project isn't finished yet because you're currently experiencing a blockage? Just like that. Tell them well, we're having some unforeseen circumstances, but we're working on it. That's it. People must understand that we all do our best, and we all have every now and then some things that jeopardize our plans. But it's okay as long as your mindset is still on it, as long as you are positive, as long as you are focused and you're showing them that you're confident and that you will do your best. That's it. We can never really promise 100% result. And I know that it's hard because we live in a society that get us to ask this from people. But because of that, we're putting ourselves under pressure because nothing is ever guaranteed in life. The only one thing we can guarantee is that we're going to do our best. And this is what we should be doing. Tell them, I'm going to do my best. Based on our track records with my experience, we should be okay. And so trust me, we're doing our best. It's going to be okay. Be optimistic. But if people say, oh, you promised me and it didn't happen exactly at the date and at the time and the way, then it's because of life. So based on the sort of the business that you have, you may give them something back. I don't know. But the way that I run my own practice, I always tell people, you know, I do my best to help you with my experience. And based on my track record for this sort of situation, I'm very confident that I can help you. But nothing is guaranteed in life. So it's very important. Again, back to that idea, it's about going through that journey and having as many tools as we can to keep going forward. But then again, I don't know what business you are in, so that may be probably very different. But just to answer your question, just be honest. I think it's better to be honest than not. The more we are trying to, it depends. Maybe, because I don't know the nature of your business, maybe some little white lies can also be helpful if you know that you can get away with that, if it can help you. It's about finding whatever works best for you at this point in time. Follow your path of least resistance. But in my book, based on what I do, honesty is always the best option. That's how I run my life. Angela, I'm sure that you are helping many people with a BPD problem like you. Take care, Didi. Thank you, Angela. Some random person, do you have advice for dealing with the gap between who we think we are and who we really are? Yes. So basically, who you think you are is who you are in that moment. Consciousness can only experience one thing at a time. And so if you believe that you are your thought, in that moment you are that thought. If you believe that you are an emotion that you're feeling in your body, in that moment you are the emotion. If you believe that you are that person, in that moment that you're that person. The next moment you may observe, you may be spiritual and think, I'm not that person. I'm not the ego. I am a soul, a spirit. I am an eternal being. In that moment you are that. You are anything that you believe you are in the moment. It is that simple. We like to have an idea of a sense of control and understanding, so it's going to be this or that. But in reality, we forget about the most important element of all, which is time. Time changes. There's always a moment following another moment. And each moment brings new options, new opportunities, new possibilities. And so, who are you? You are whatever you believe you are in this moment. That's it. I did a video about it. The first long form video that I did when I came back on YouTube is precisely about it, and it was 5 months ago. If you go on my page, it's called "You Are Whatever You Are Experiencing." It's quite a long video for my standards. It's 19 minutes, but if you have time, check it out. It's called "You Are Whatever You Are Experiencing," and on the thumbnail it says "You Are the Experiencer." Right? So there's no gap between who you are and who you think you are. Whatever you think you are is who you are in that moment. We shift, we go back and forth. Now I think what you want to say is who you could be. What is your potential? And so your full potential is to learn how to meditate and be mindful so that you can observe yourself. So you can observe all of those versions of yourself and then realize that you are the observer. Ultimately, we come into this life to experience the human experience. And so we're the observer, but if we are always the observer, we can't experience that life. So we need to be in the shoes of the ego, of the human being, of the person, of the self, so that we know what is going to happen living that life. We need to experience the full spectrum of our humanity. And so it's not a bad thing to experience. But if we suffer from it too much, it's good to learn how to see the bigger picture so that we can upgrade that experience. And this is what we do through self-awareness. What I'm doing here. I hope it makes sense. Does it? Pumpkin Puff, I hope I didn't make you sad thinking of your dogs. No, not at all. You made me happy. Remember what I said. When I think about dogs, it makes me happy. Precisely. If I ever feel sad when I'm thinking about my dog, I don't. I never feel sad. I feel sad when I look at a lot of things that make me feel sad in life, in the news. But as soon as I think about my dog, I'm feeling happy again. I would feel sad thinking about my dog if I'm thinking about me missing them, but I don't miss them. Because if I think about them in that moment, they are with me. This is how I bring them back into my life, right here, right now. And I'm feeling good straight away. When you have a good understanding of your mind, you can do all those things. You can create with happy space, and you can more easily return to a place of peace and clarity and happiness. So back to that comment. Pumpkin Puff, I hope I didn't make you sad thinking of your dogs. I read a study that explained how pet loss is very similar to losing a child for people who really cherish their pets. Yes. So for some people, they suffer more from the loss of their dogs than the loss of a parent. So people will get outraged by that, but I'm not at all. I understand, because it's not about who we should love. It's about who we love because how we felt when we were with them. And so pets give us unconditional love. And so it makes absolute sense that we will be more heartbroken when a pet is gone rather than some parents who may not have loved us nowhere near as much as those dogs. When people are outraged that people love animals more, it's only because they are coming from a place of self-righteousness. How dare you? Because they are the bad parents. They are the bad, and they know maybe at the subconscious level that people will love their dogs more than them. So they're reacting to that. If you're happy, you accept that we're all different. Some people may feel more for dogs or humans, and it doesn't matter. It's a personal experience. Anyway, grieving, right? Angela, how can you find your purpose in life? Didi, I would like to share my purpose with a husband. So we talked about you finding your soulmate, and here you're saying the same thing. How do I find my purpose? I want to find my purpose with a husband. It's two different things. Your purpose is your purpose. Your husband is your husband. And sometimes it's both the same. But if you are trying to find them at the same time, it's going to make everything more complicated. I think that you have some trauma. I think that you have a need. You think about it a lot, don't you? You need someone in your life. And it's a symptom of some lack. And so that lack could be born from some situations in your childhood. I used to be like that. I used to be thinking of myself, my life is worth nothing. And I need to find someone to complete me. And I used to think, unless and until I meet someone special, whatever I live is worth nothing, because it's just me. If I die tomorrow, no one will remember any of those sunsets or happy moments. And I was wrong, but I didn't know any better. because I have BPD. So I had a very terrible outlook of myself. I hated myself, essentially. And that's why, to answer your question, just like I answered your previous question, how to find your purpose, to share your purpose with your husband, learn to love yourself, first and foremost. And when you love yourself, then you're reminded that there are some things that you love doing. And those will be the hint, the cues about your purpose. Whatever stimulates you, whatever excites you, is what you should go towards to, the direction. And as you go there, you may actually find your husband there. By embracing a journey of things that you enjoy doing, you may find someone who shares the same interest as you, and then start a fantastic relationship together. Right? But it all starts with self-love. So do check that video, please. I think it was you who asked me about relationship beforehand, wasn't it? Pumpkin Puff. My childhood dog crossed the Rainbow Bridge last year. Your childhood dog, wow. And it was really hard. I swear I saw her after, but I will never know if I actually did. You know what? You did. I believe in all those things. It doesn't matter. It's a belief. So choose to believe what works best for you. I don't know if you've seen the movie or read the book, Life of Pi. So if you know, you know. So basically, something amazing happens. And at the end of the story, people can choose to believe that amazing story where he's in a boat with a tiger and a lot of animals, a hyena, a orangutan, and or that he was on his own having some mental problems. But because of the beauty of the story, we choose to believe the beauty. We choose to believe the thing that doesn't make sense. And so this is my approach when it comes to belief. Believe whatever makes you feel better, as long as it doesn't harm anyone else. And so I believe that you saw your dog. GEP Nutrition, I usually make myself sound confident, and I don't connect with these people because of this. This is it. If you pretend that you're someone else, you cannot connect anyway, because that version of you that you're presenting to the world is not you. So that means that even if they like that version, they're not liking you. They're liking the pretense. They're liking the version of you. So if you ever show your real self, now you're done. They're going to say, who are you? We don't know you. We don't like that. And so that's why it's always a better idea to learn how to be honest and authentic and transparent so that you can end up with the right people. Embrace vulnerability. You don't have to be confident all the time. You don't have to be strong or brave. You don't have to show that you're successful. All of those things are what we are led to believe. And that creates all of those masks and all of those inability to connect, because now everyone is wearing a mask and everyone is pretending, right? Instead, learn how to be yourself, learn how to be vulnerable. You know that the most important thing with people is to feel safe with them. If I can feel that that person is on my side, that they have my back, I'm going to like that person. I'm going to want to know that person. I'm going to connect with that person. What connects people? Vulnerability, not confidence. If you can show that you are vulnerable, you can be sad, you can be scared, you can feel hopeless. Not too much, but just be honest. Then people recognize, I can relate to that person. If anything, that person is brave to show their true face in this world where everyone has to be perfect. And now suddenly they want to be with you because they can see, they can feel safe. If you are brave enough to show your true self, it means that you're not secretly having some agenda behind their back. Right? Trust is the most important thing we can get from people, and we gain trust by being authentic. Yeah. There's a reason why, for instance, a lot of women enjoy the company of very camp homosexuals. Because what you see is what you get. I'm not camp at all. I'm very, I come across like very not gay, unless people know it. But I know that a lot of people love people who are really camp, who talk without thinking, because what you see is what you get. You can trust them. They're not trying to manipulate you. They're not pretending to be perfect, to be confident, to be successful. And so, yes, think about it and see how you can make this work for you. Seaside Sina. At the moment, it's a video for a hotel. Okay. Okay, tell me more about your business. You're doing videos for hotels? What does that mean? GP nutrition, yes, okay. ADHD, 100%. Okay, so if you have ADHD, it is normal for you to feel out of place in society. Your brain doesn't comprehend, just like my brain doesn't comprehend what it is to be normal in society. I always felt like an alien. I always felt out of place all my life. For as far as I can remember, as a child, teenager, young adult, when I'm in place, I'm like, what do I do? How do I behave? I remember me asking people in my early 20s when I went to bars in France, what do people talk about? Like literally. And so it's normal. And so what you want to do is to realize that this place and time for you, that are better for you. Find your tribe. Find people who are neurodivergent or people who know well about neurodiversity and are accepting so that you can be yourself. There's a new understanding of that now where people are celebrating difference. So hang out with those people so you can be yourself. Right? But don't try to be a neurotypical because you are not. And you don't want to be either. You are amazing as you are. You just need to be surrounded by people who can see and appreciate your amazingness. Pumpkin Puff. Oh, good. I'm glad you carry the positivity that they brought you with you. Yes. Angela, I am emotionally and mentally healthy and I'm not desperate. I don't have unresolved trauma, but I would like to work with a partner. Thank you for explanation. I will watch your video today. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sometimes we don't realize that we have some baggage, right? There's a difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is 95% of our mind. So for the vast majority of us, we have no idea about what is going on inside. It's subconscious and it's emotional. The conscious mind is the puny, tiny 5% at the top of the iceberg. And so this is what we know, what we think, what we know about ourselves. And very often, I'm not saying that you are, but just based on what you said, for me, I see that there's a lack of some sort. It doesn't mean that you are mentally ill. No, it's not all or nothing. We're all on the spectrum of something. But to me, it means that there's a lack, there's something that is there, right? As opposed to you just enjoying your life and taking things as they comes, there seems to be something that is there, lingering always in the background. And so it tells me that there's something, and very often, many of us, we don't want to see ourselves like that because we believe that it's not good, it's inferior to have some baggage. But we must accept that we all have some baggage, all of us. And it's normal, it's human. And it's healthy to basically be open-minded and realize that we may have indeed some stuff to address. Right? So again, I'm not labeling you, but I want you to realize this, right? It's not all or nothing. And so also trauma comes in many shapes. Trauma is not necessarily abuse. Neglect can be trauma. If you didn't have unconditional love and support from your parents when you're a child, then there's a part of you that feels that you lack of something, you need something, maybe, and this is where I'm seeing, if you need to be with someone, there's a part of you that believes that you lack something, and maybe it's because you didn't come to closure with the fact that you didn't have the unconditional love that we all deserve during our childhood. And again, it's not reflecting you nor your parents. Society is designed in such a way. Most of us, we didn't have it. And so, yeah. Trauma with a big T is abuse or something that is obvious. And trauma with a small t is the little things that we didn't have and that made us feel unsafe and get us to create all of those beliefs and systems that are now creating problems in various capacity in our lives. But again, Angela, if you think that you are right, you're right. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just trying to expand your options. That's it, right? And thank you for saying that you will watch the video. Pumpkin Puff. I say childhood very loosely. She was very old. But yes, I like to think that I did. Thank you for allowing me to think that. Oh, yes, yes, yes. You saw her. Yeah, I believe that. Parisa, I like my potential with patience for myself. I will get there. You are there already. Your potential is always growing. You never arrive. So that's what I was trying to say. Life is a journey. It's not a destination. So to make it easier on yourself, don't expect to arrive. You are there already and you're getting better. Every day, all your life, you will always get better if you have the right mindset and the right heart set. I'll get there. People always tell me that I accomplished a lot, but I don't see it that way at all. Because you're still looking at yourself from the position of the people who looked down on you. Maybe your parents or your teachers or whoever that you looked up to told you that you were not good enough unless and until you made them proud. Until you did that thing, you had that behavior, you won that trophy, that medal, unless you were the best in class, or whatever it may be. And so because of that, you believe that about yourself now. You're still thinking that because you're looking at yourself from their perspective. You're hearing their voice in your head. But you can shift that. Instead of looking at yourself from the position of the people who judged you and who told you that you were not enough unless you did that, look at yourself from the perspective of someone who loves you and wants to celebrate your progress. Focus on your progress, not on perfectionism. That will be easier for you. Pumpkin Puff, I will never understand why some people compare PTSD and CPTSD because you know. It's very easy to understand why. Some people know, some people don't know. That's it. Right? Some people don't even know that those things exist. Some people don't even know any of the things that you know about mental health. They don't think CPTSD can be serious, but it's ongoing abuse because they don't know. That's it. It's very simple. It's education. It's ignorance. A lot of people don't know about ADHD. A lot of people don't know about autism. A lot of people don't know about OCD. A lot of people don't know about depression. A lot of people don't know about anxiety. They don't know that for some people it's real, it's serious, it's debilitating. And so they just don't know. That's it. So it's not because they're bad, it's because they don't know. So what we want to do is to talk about it, spread the awareness, and teach people. Some people will resist. So I talk about it at the beginning of the video here, but if you can replay it if you have time, I talk about the same advice reflex, which is a subconscious bias. And because of that, that prevents people from accepting some new evidence, some new information, because they're attached emotionally to the previous information that they had about that thing. So that explains that in big amount. Parisa, yes, that is true. Thank you. Pumpkin Puff, the trauma that I got from my father is not the same that caused my PTSD, but they both affect me greatly. Okay. Everything is connected. Whichever way you start your life will give you a propensity to react in whichever way to the next things that will happen in your life. And that's why when it comes to healing, the way that I do it with hypnosis is to go as far as we can in time. The further we can go, the further we can address the first element of that will influence the direction of our life. Pumpkin Puff, that's fair, it's ignorance, yes? It's like even us, you didn't know about yourself until someone told you. I didn't know about anything about myself until I've learned about those things. So we can't blame people for the things that they don't know. What we can do is to understand, and what we can do is to do our best to teach them, teach empathy, teach compassion. Angela, I'm aware that I'm not perfect, Didi. Okay. I'm always working on myself. Thank you for your advice and your kindness, Didi. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate. I'm glad that you're not reacting negatively to my comment. Thank you. I think that for, I don't know how old you are, but for some people of a certain age, I know you did mention when you're in your 40, but for some people of a certain age, 40, 50s, 60s, we have been stigmatized a lot. Mental health has been stigmatized more in the past than now. Now it's becoming better. There's still some people who resist it and are saying some very terrible things about it, but there are more and more understanding of that. And so I believe that many of us, the older we are, the harder it is to accept that there may be something that we have lived with all of our life that we can address. That will be challenging our whole understanding of life and reality, everything that we think we know. But if anything, it's actually very liberating if it's done properly. When I found out about my own conditions, but all the shame, all the self-hatred that was still remaining inside of me just disappeared. I realized everything made sense. Everything that people made me believe was not true. I'm not lazy, I have ADHD. I'm not needy, I have BPD. I'm not weak or selfish or whatever. I've got CPTSD. Whatever that we can understand about ourselves bring us closer to freeing ourselves from all of this baggage stuff that we have been infected by bad adults in our life when we were younger, which is shame and fear. Pumpkin Puff, that's true, you're right, I shouldn't judge. It's okay, thank you. We'll do this. Angela, it's very important to work on ourselves and our mental health. Thank you for helping you with your video, Didi. Thank you. Glad you appreciate. Parisa, I think I was more susceptible for PTSD because of my CPTSD. It made it all much darker. Yes, absolutely. And so whichever way you start your life, and it starts even in the womb. For some of us, from the start of our very first moment of existing and awareness, we're already different to others because of genetics. But that propensity to be sensitive will be aggravated by our environment. And so it all starts from the beginning. If you have some hypersensitivity to life genetically, but we are born in a loving, safe, supportive environment, now we're not going to suffer from that. It is a combination of both. And so the example that I often give is veterans, soldiers. So very famous research and studies demonstrating how many soldiers who came back from Vietnam War in the 60s in America were traumatized. And they did some work to find out how come some of them were okay and could heal and resume their life after a few months, whereas some could never and would get even worse. And the difference was their childhood. Soldiers who had a stable and loving family, parents, they were able to recover and heal. They had some resilience. They had a coping mechanism. Soldiers who had violent families, abusive father, alcoholism, or any of those things, they would go down because they never had those systems from the beginning. So they are more fragile when presented with the trauma of life that we all go through. And this is why, again, when I address people, we go as far as we can. People who have trauma, we address both. We know precisely that maybe it was that car accident or that physical abuse that happened. So we want to address this, but also why do we feel that we were so unable to recover from that? So our original sensitivity to it. Pumpkin Puff. Also true. Other people will claim the youth is slapping labels on everything, but I think people just want to understand why we are how we are instead of shaming others for it. Yes, it's not all, but it's true that many are like that. Sadly, it's very true. But there's a lot of old people who are actually embracing the fact that they have a diagnosis and they're supporting this. It depends the level of conditioning and fear that you have. People who are resisting are people who have been really traumatized. We go through. Oh, hello, we go through. I remember you. Hey, Didi, hope you are well. How does one find balance in the flow of creativity? I'm trying to understand how to approach your question. How to find balance in the flow of creativity. If you're in the flow of creativity, you don't need to find balance. Creativity is the flow, is balance. That's it. I think what you're asking is, how do I get into a state of creativity, right? If you're creative, there's no need to balance. Your creative energy is your highest level of vibration. Love, creativity, they're the two things where we are at our best. And so basically, think about your life as moments. When you're being creative, embrace those moments, go with your flow, produce, do the things, listen to your intuition, and then the next moment, have a rest, have a break, contemplate what you've done, and then get back to it. I'm trying to understand your question. How does one find balance in the flow of creativity? You don't need, I don't understand your question, sorry. Could you break it down for me? What do you mean by this? We go through, I want to answer you, but for me, if you can get into the state of creativity, you are in your state of flow, right? And it's a good place to be. And I think the balance is about your whole lifestyle. How can you organize yourself so that you can maybe decide more when you are in that state of flow so that it coincides with your schedule? Is that what you mean? Angela, thank you for helping us with your videos. Didi, sorry I wrote that phrase incorrectly. It's okay. Forrest Berger. Hey Didi, I watched an interesting YouTube video about how a society as a whole is feminization male. Do you think this is true? No, it's not. And how can you carry yourself as traditional male role without intriguing? So let's talk about this. So I don't understand the last bit, but I understand that what you're saying is that a lot of people say that that society is turning men into women or something like that, right? It's demonizing masculinity. So how can I be a traditional masculine person? And so there's a lot of different ways to address that conversation. First thing, we need to address the fact that society is patriarchal. So the people who say that, they want to promote the patriarchy. So what is the patriarchy? Men are strong, men are in charge, men are better. And there should be some men and some women. And men should be men, women should be women. Otherwise, it's all falling apart, nothing makes sense. And it's not true. This is the model of patriarchy that wants us to believe that. In reality, society is made of a lot of different people. There are some men, there are some women, there are some trans, there are all sorts. But also, there are some men who are more feminine, and it's okay. And there are some men that are more masculine, and it's okay. And there are some women who are more masculine or feminine, and it's okay. And there are some non-binary that can fluctuate, and it's all okay. It's about changing your narrative, change your perspective. If you want to be a traditional male, you can be, if that's your preference. If it's natural to you, you don't have to do anything. But you want to get rid of the toxic bit. There is some toxicity in the traditional idea of masculinity. And what are those toxicity? Is to believe that men must be strong and successful. We must never be weak. We must never seek help. We must always be in control of everything. We must never share and feel or express our emotions. This is toxic. This creates all the unaliving of the men every year because they can't feel their emotions. They have to be strong, they have to pretend. They can never show the vulnerability. And we are all sometimes in need of help. All of us. It's normal. That's why society exists, because we need each other to help each other with our strength. Every now and then, it's perfectly healthy and normal. And so you want to let go of the idea that you have to be strong. You don't have to. I think the better idea of a male, if you want to be a male, it's okay. You can go to the gym, you can drive big trucks, you can watch MMA fighting. It's all good. It's not a problem at all. But also you can cry. You can talk about your problem. You can say, I didn't win. You can say, I don't know what you're asking me. I don't know everything, but I'm going to find out. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be successful all the time. You don't need to impress everyone all the time. You don't need to be the silent sufferer that is doing everything for his family and his kids and never getting any love because he's working so hard to be the man. This is what toxic masculinity is. Masculinity in itself is not toxic. Femininity is not toxic either. What is toxic is all of those ideas that I mentioned. The idea that you should be, you must be. No. We are flexible, we are humans, we are multidimensional, and we must embrace the whole spectrum of our emotions and humanity, whether we see ourselves as a male or female or anything in between. Does it answer your question, Forrest? But also, very often, what I want to say is that we don't need any of those old templates anymore. And And that's why I love all those woke, I'm a woke movement, the LGBT people who are like Harry Styles, who's wearing some grandmother clothes with some pearl necklace and they're very masculine. And I love that because we are starting to understand that gender is a construct. We all understand that all of those things are invented. Back in the days, women were not allowed to wear trousers. And now but no one cares about it. Back in the days, pink was the color in Victorian times for boys, and blue was for girls. And that's been changed. Everything was always made up. So it doesn't matter. But some people want you to believe otherwise. It's Adam and Eve, not Madam and Eve or Adam and Steve. And I'm like, no. If you look at all the ancient civilizations in South America, in Australia, in wherever, in India, there's always been more than one gender. They accepted that as normality, and so why not anyway? But Christianism didn't like it. They needed to control things. It's going to be this or that. And anything that is not within our system, they're bad. They're witches. They are blasphematory. We must burn them at the stake or whatever. And so change in your mind, expand it. I realize that, the world is changing, but it's not that it's changing from always. It's just changing from the last few hundred years. Before, things were already different. And all over the world, things have always been different. Yeah. Just learn how to be yourself. So very often, what I would say is, you don't need to be a man or woman. Just be yourself. Be a good human. We don't need a lot of people talk about positive masculinity. And again, it's an idea that is born from the patriarchy, because when you think about it, no one ever talks about positive femininity. Why is that? But all kids must have a positive masculine role model. And it's not true. We just need positive humanity. And we can come across, express ourselves, and be whichever way we are. It doesn't matter. A lot of very happy and amazing kids have parents that are LGBT or single parents. And if anything, we can look at the other way around. Most of us, we suffer. And most of us have traditional heterosexual parents. That doesn't make any difference. And so we want to expand our mind and stop believing those limiting beliefs that are born from religion and society that wants to control people with shame, with sins, with all of this nonsense. Does it help, Forrest? I hope that I didn't offend you. If so, we can talk about it. I can be more maybe diplomatic. But I like to believe that people who come on my channel are on the same wavelength, are open-minded enough to understand what I'm trying to impart. What do you say, Forrest? We go through. Also, a friend wants to join the army and had a fight with him about that. I feel bad, but also that he's commodifying and unaliving because he's doing it to get in shape and for the money. Whatever your friend does, it's his business or her business. With him, so it's a him. Whatever your friend does, it's his choice. What you can do is to tell him how you feel about it, and then he will still make his decision. And if you are a friend, you should respect whatever they decide to do. It's their life. He's commodifying and unaliving because he's doing it. You don't like the idea that he's going to kill people. So again, it's their life, right? I personally, if I knew that some people were going to choose to kill people, they wouldn't be my friends. I could see people as clients who wants to address some problems related to that, but I wouldn't choose to hang out with people who have that sort of perspective of life, because to me, they're already dehumanizing a lot of people. So unless they want to work on that, they're not people that I want to associate myself with. They're on their journey, but not with me. The evil, the root of all evil, is the ability to dehumanize. That's it. If you can dehumanize a person or a group of people, then we are evil, because we can do to them any atrocities. It don't matter. They're not humans. And what connects us is our humanity. So it's the opposite of it. If we can see in others the humanity that exists in us, now we can connect and we will never do anything horrible to them. And this is what we call empathy. Pumpkin puff. Oh, I didn't know creativity and love were strongest energy. They're our highest vibration. That's when we are at our most authentic. We're creating. We're here to create. So love is connection and creation as much as creativity. Again, I talk often about how we are either on a survival mode or on a growth mode. When we're growing, we're creating. We're developing, we're expanding. And we are born to grow. We are born to evolve. However, we can survive if we have to survive. And the confusion lies in that people believe that we are born to survive. And so we spend our life surviving instead of living. We don't realize that we don't have to survive for the vast majority of us. We're creating an imaginary enemy that we're fighting every day instead of growing. Pumpkin puff, so true. Crying is healing. I'm still learning this. Yes. When we cry, we're literally soothing ourselves. Why wouldn't do this? Why wouldn't we do this to ourselves? Pumpkin puff, thank you for our chat today, Didi. I wish you a great evening and weekend. Thank you. Oh yes, it's 8 o'clock. I didn't realize. Okay, so I'm going to read the last comment, but I'm going to go on the way out gently because I finish at that sort of time. Thank you, Pumpkin Puff. Forrest, yep, that answers my question. My wife carries the masculine role. Okay. I carry the feminine role in our relationship. Okay. I'm the lover and hugger. My wife is the dominate role. Doesn't bother me at all. Fantastic. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. A lot of my friends who are straight, they love being a daddy at home looking after the baby. I think it's amazing. It doesn't matter. Ideally, what we want to do, if we can, is to have an extended family, like in many parts of the world, where you have many uncles and aunties, and so that the kids has a lot of adults, and there's always someone looking after them, and a lot of cousins to play with. And this is the best way to raise kids if we can. But I understand that in a capitalist system in the UK or Europe or America, it's much, much harder. But well done, for doing this. Fantastic. Good on you. Forrest, the only time it bothers me is when our daughter goes over me to my wife to ask for things because she wears the pants, so to speak. Because there's still a part of you that is thinking there's a part of your ego that feels that you're not a man because mom is wearing the pants. And so, let me read your question. Just accept that you have a different role, and maybe mom is the one in charge of taking decision, but you are the one in charge of making her feel loved and safe. So that's a fantastic job, isn't it? But also, it doesn't have to be this or that. You can learn how to communicate with your daughter to know that you are both capable of both by demonstrating it. Maybe you can tell your wife, and together you can create this. There's a moment where your wife will be the one cherishing, nurturing, and hugging your daughter, and some other moment where you will be in charge of taking decisions and running the day. So you can teach that. She's very. I assume that she's still young. You can still do this. You can still teach your daughter. In our family, it's not mommy and daddy who's the boss, who's not. We are both able to do many things. But some of us are doing some things at some time because it's how it works for us. And so when you do this, you are teaching your daughter to also be more open-minded and less susceptible to believe that some model of being is the only way to be in this world. We go through. That's exactly how I feel like I can't be around him because he's being way too dismissive about it. It feels unsafe around him. In that case, don't hang out with him. You don't have to. Say, you know what? Whatever you do, I wish you the best. Goodbye. That's it. You don't have to see anyone. Or you can be frank. You can say, you know what? I always loved you, but for me, I'm realizing that it's very important for me to be with people who don't do the things that you want to do. So I appreciate that this is what you do. I'm not going to go against it. You know my position about it. However, I don't feel that it's right for me to still see you as long as I know that you're doing this thing. So I wish you all the best, but we can't be seeing each other anymore. we go through. How are you? Me, I'm well. I'm very well. Thank you for asking. How about you? A part of all of those things. I hope your health is better. I'm happy to see you. Thank you so much. My health is much better than the last time we spoke. Indeed. Thank you for remembering and for asking. Kay Stevens, I had an adopted aunt. The war and who wore the pants in the family. When you're growing up and there are older people involved, always watch out for sneaky abuse. They'll say and do anything to get the prize. Okay, I think I kind of understand what you say. But to go back to the comment from Forrest, yes, there's also that idea that one has to be the boss. And this is not about masculine or feminine. It's just about whichever system works best for your family. Some families or some societies, some places in the world are run by matriarchy. And it's not a bad thing either. Generally speaking, matriarchy is better than the patriarchy because of the nurturing nature of it. But anyway, this is a different conversation. But even when you say who's wearing the pants, this language, that vocabulary, those words are born from patriarchy. Now, precisely, women wear pants and men can wear dress. They wear a dress all their life. Dress were worn by men all along. Jesus wore a dress. Romans wore dresses all throughout history, all over the world. And so it doesn't mean anything. Even that expression, think about it. Who's wearing the pants? It doesn't matter. Who's wearing the dress? Who's wearing the flip-flops? Why should that matter? Remind yourself of the things that you do. Tell your daughter and make sure that your wife and you are on the same wavelength when you communicate to your daughter so that she knows that both of you are important in equal measure. And it's not that one is static in a role. You can also change. There are times where you may be taking your daughter in town to do things just with her, and so you are the one in charge, and it's okay. Forrest, thank you, Didi. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you so much. Forrest, yeah, I do very masculine role things. There you go. I'm a logger for a living. So there you go. I'm not a logger. Is it to do with logs? Do you cut wood? So that's super masculine, right? That's butch, right? But in the house, my wife rules the roost. It's okay. It's all good. Anything goes. Gosh, if you cut the woods, that's super masculine, super butch. How can you doubt your masculinity? Anyway, I'm going to go now. Thank you guys for your interaction. That was very easy and flowing tonight. As usual, for those who don't know me, I'm on YouTube and TikTok. I post 3 short videos every day on both platforms. However, on YouTube, I post 1 long-form video weekly. And this week, it was all about meditation. So check it out if you have interest in that. And I also come live on YouTube twice a week, every week. Every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time, you can find me for sure. Unless I'm sick or terrible things have happened, I will always do my best to show up. And if you have an interest about me as a therapist and coach, there's also a link on my bio to my website. And so that'll be it for today. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's continue our conversation sometime next week. Okay. Also, one last thing. My long form, my live streams are to be found the next day. So if you find anything interesting today, by tomorrow morning, you'll be able to replay that live stream to retrieve any information if there's something you find interesting. And finally, if you have any idea about any topics for long form video, just ask me. I'm happy to take ideas because I need ideas every week to create long form videos. So just ask me. I'm happy to create something for you. Benita, thank you for the wonderfully affirmative insight. Thank you so much. Guys, I love you all. Look after yourself. Take care as usual. And remember to be kind to others if you can. But if you can't, at least be kind to yourself. Thank you for the little emojis. Everyone, thank you.